He stepped onto that stage like a man already carrying the weight of 1,000 broken hearts, and before he even sang a single note, something in the room shifted in a way no one could explain. The judges barely looked up at first. Another audition. Another hopeful face. But then he spoke. Soft. Humble. His voice trembling, not with fear, but with something deeper. He said he was a pastor from a small village in the Philippines. He said he wasn't there for fame. He was there because his people had lost everything, and he needed the world to hear them. The audience went still. Completely still. And Simon Cowell leaned forward just a little, like something had just grabbed him. Then the music started. The first note didn't sound powerful. It sounded fragile. Almost like it might break. But then it grew. Slowly. Painfully. Like someone opening a wound they had tried to hide for years. His voice cracked, but not from weakness. From truth. And suddenly, every word felt like it was pulling something out of the audience, something they didn't even know they were holding inside. A woman in the crowd covered her mouth. Another started crying. The camera cut to Simon, and for the first time, his expression wasn't judgment. It was confusion. Like he couldn't understand why his chest felt tight. Why his eyes wouldn't look away. Why this man, this quiet, unknown man, was breaking something inside him piece by piece. Then came the moment no one was ready for. The pastor closed his eyes, and sang a line so raw, so painfully honest, it felt like the entire theater stopped breathing at once. It wasn't just a performance anymore. It was a confession. A prayer. A cry for help wrapped in melody. And you could feel it spreading, row by row, person by person, until the entire room was drowning in it. Simon blinked. Once. Twice. And then it happened. A tear. He tried to hide it. He pressed his hand against his mouth, looked down, shook his head slightly like he could shake the feeling off. But it didn't stop. Another tear fell. And another. The man known for tearing people apart, was being torn apart himself. The audience noticed. A ripple moved through the crowd. Whispers. Gasps. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. Simon Cowell doesn't cry. Not like this. Not openly. Not uncontrollably. But he couldn't stop. On stage, the pastor kept singing. Unaware. Or maybe fully aware. His voice now soaring, not perfectly, but honestly. Every imperfection made it stronger. Every crack made it real. And by the final note, there wasn't a single dry eye left in the room. Silence. Not the awkward kind. Not the waiting kind. The kind that comes after something sacred. Something irreversible. Then, an explosion. The audience jumped to their feet. Screaming. Crying. Clapping like their lives depended on it. The judges stood too, but Simon didn't move right away. He just sat there, staring at the stage, tears still falling, like he had just witnessed something he couldn't put into words. Finally, he stood. Slowly. Quietly. Like a man changed. He walked to the edge of the table, eyes locked on the pastor, who now stood there shaking, overwhelmed, confused, completely unaware of what he had just done. Simon picked up the microphone. But for a moment, he couldn't speak. His voice failed him. And when he finally did manage to say something, it wasn't criticism. It wasn't advice. It wasn't even about talent. It was just one sentence. You didn't just sing, you made the world feel something it forgot. And in that moment, it wasn't just an audition anymore. It was a moment the world would never forget. Because sometimes, the most powerful voices don't come from stars. They come from the broken, the unseen, the ones who have nothing left to lose. And when they finally speak, Even the strongest people in the room break.